home like nervous because he comes off the street, he's intoxicated. And when he's intoxicated, he wakes me up because I'm the only one to live with him and say, oh, this is how my night went. I made this much. So he dropped me off a bag. The bag was a big duffel bag. He dropped me off a bag. It was me and all my cousins there. And he said, I need you to count this, and I need you to count it within an hour. I'll be back. I said, okay. I looked up like, oh, I can't even count all this money. Like, at this point in age, and this when he found out I wasn't a good counter, but I'm 11 years old. Who could count to 20,000 at 11? Like, he gave me all this money. He said, count it. I want to know exactly what it is. Write it here, so I can go check this guy if this ain't correct. So I counted all of it, and I said, it's $200 now. And so he pulled $200 out the bag. He said, this is $200. Is the whole bag left? He said, count this. I'm going to get something to eat, and you count this. So he left. You know, it was like 2:30 in the morning. I'm nervous. Like, and so I got my cousins helping me, but we all young. And we was like, okay, it's 2,000. Just say 2,000. I know it's 2 something. So he came back, 2,000. He picked up 2,000 out the bag. He said, this 2,000. So he got mad. So he grabbed me by my shirt, like picked me up, walked me to the wall, and he always had a holster on with a gun, put it to my head, cocked it, and said, if you don't learn how to count, next time if you count my money again, next time, I'm going to shoot you in the head. I'm like, what the hell? So I'm scared at this point, like, I got to learn how to count. So as soon as he pulled away like that, you understand? And matter of fact, my grandmother was upstairs. She was visiting. She was upstairs. My father had a beach house. She was upstairs and visiting. And she was like, what's going on down there? Because she heard all my cousins like screaming. And they all girls, right? They screamed. Ah! So like, and there was urine everywhere. And so he pulled away. As soon as he pulled away, because he was so intoxicated, he shot himself in the hand. So half his hand, this piece of his hand, to this day is off. He shot himself in the hand. It was like seconds of my life. And I was like, and I'm sitting there like everybody, and my grandmother said, what's going on down there? And he's like, oh, nothing, Mom, I just shot myself in the hand. And she's like, what? And he's like, no. So he went to the hospital, came back the next day and didn't know what happened. He said, what happened? What did I do to you? And so I told my grandmother that, and like a month or so later, we left. So that was Galveston. So we left. And when we left, my father, like his prior possession was me. Like I was his everything. I was his driver. I was his, like everything. And so when he left, from what we hear, he got sick for a while. He like started like to lose it. My son's gone. I go home. I'll have my son. He's like, but he didn't understand that's not the way to love your son. Material value is not the way to love, right? So we traveled to Oakland, California. So I'm like, yeah, we're going to Oakland, sunshine. They make movies out there. I'm 12 years old at this time. I'm like, oh, there's women out there. Can't wait to see the ladies. I'll be watching Baywatch. Baywatch, they got bikinis and all that stuff. I'm talking all the way there. My grandma like, you ain't going there for that. I said, what? I'm Tree Lee's son, all this stuff. I went from being Obama's son, like, if you guys understand what I'm saying, a big guy son to nobody. Like, I'm walking like, what's up? They're like, who is this little guy? I'm like, you know who I am? I went from that to nothing. I went from getting anything I want, from driving Cadillacs. They call them deuce and a quarters. They're real long. The Cadillacs and the Jags and things like that in the 1990s, to getting on the city bus. So my mom was like, what? That my life changed, Mom. Let's call Dad. Y'all got to get back together. I was lying about the gun stuff. I was so drawn to the game. I asked my mom, can I have this for my Nintendo? This is Nintendo back in the day. Can I have this for my Nintendo? Oh, I got to wait till I get paid next week. I'm like, what? My dad? Just give me money right now. That's what I'm thinking. So I didn't tell her that. So my mother, we thought moving her there was going to take her addiction away. But it made it worse. In Galveston, it's harder to get drugs. In California, it's everywhere. Every single block, you see somebody on the corner selling drugs. It was so, like, it was at arm's reach for us. And so she started using drugs like heavily. It was worse. Like, and now she was going from my father's product, we knew it was a little safe because he's